Hey everybody, my name is Valerie. I pretty much always grew up in Chicago, state of Illinois. And to speak a little bit about when I first noticed discrimination was maybe when I was around 6 or 7. My dad always stayed in pretty much like Bolingbrook or Westmont, and he was also married to a Caucasian. And her family and I, or her niece and I, used to go to the park in that neighborhood pretty much. We hung out every weekend. But I noticed that the kids would always choose to play with her before they chosen to play with me. And sometimes I used to wonder, but it didn't bother me because I know that I always felt to myself I was never going to be the one that always needed someone to tag along and play around. But then it got kind of boring. So pretty much she'll notice that I'll be to myself and she'll include me. And I remember one time having a conversation with my dad about how when I go to the park with her that she plays with them and I have no one to play with. So I just didn't want to go to the park anymore. And then after probably hours of playing, she'll remember me and be like, oh, okay. So I didn't know whether to be mad at her or the situation, but I pretty much didn't know what it is, but I knew it was something different. Pretty much now, with the way the world is going, even being pulled over by a cop seems to be kind of different for me. Like about 2 weeks ago, I was pulled over because the cop said I blew the stop sign. I was coming out of a truck stop, so he quite naturally thought I was a man, but I wasn't. But the stop sign was probably a block away from where he pulled me over at. So when he told me, like, did you know you blew a stop sign? I said, no, it's 2 stop signs on 43rd. I stopped at them both. It's a 3-second rule. Anything longer than 3 seconds is a stoplight. And so, but when he walked up to the car, he never came in front of my window. He kind of like was on the side, and I could see through the rear view, and I saw he had his hand on his holster, but he never said nothing. But I'm facing him wondering like when he was gonna come. So when he noticed I was a female, he kind of like went at ease, but he never removed his hand off the holster. So by the time he was asking me for my information, I had already had it out. But that pretty much kind of like made me wonder, like, is this how you do a traffic stop? This is not any drug stop. I'm not endangering anyone. So why do you have your hand on the holster? I just think that kind of like make it a kind of hostile environment as well. Proceeding on to my son. My son is 6. Yeah, he's 6. And he's healthy and he's black. And I kind of look at it like, what's going to happen to him when he's 17? And it kind of have me worrying because like I want to merge from where I'm at, but do I want to? Because it's like I'll be taking him and I feel like I'll be putting him in a situation that it may be hard for him to come back from. I could protect him as a child, but when he's 17 and he want to go hang out with his friends or he just want to come home from school on his own, I'm not going to be able to protect him from the assumption of a police officer or just any regular person, because if he look 8 now, when he's 17, he may look 21, and any wrong move maybe could end my son's life, and it may be just for misjudgment or from I actually think afraid. They are afraid, and they don't know how to approach the situation. And sometimes I just believe that discrimination come in between us and another race is because of the lack of respect that they think that I should give without them giving it to me. I think for us to, when we better understand the respect of each other, whether you're a police officer or just a citizen walking down the street, it's still respect that you have to offer to understand me. And I'm just afraid of that part right there. I just don't know when that part comes. How will I be able to protect him? Do I want to teach him to keep your hands at your side? Do I want to teach him not to lose his freedom of speech because he's pulled over by a cop? And it's just a shame, and I just don't know what to say about that. So pretty much that's like really my only part of discrimination that I really notice, because I probably everything else I look past. I work amongst different ethnicities every day, and it may be things happening I just look past it, but I pretty much see my discrimination comes when I'm basically I've been pulled over by the police 3 times, and each time I have noticed that they never come to my window. They're at the side of their car with their hands on a holster, and that's just it for me.